Welcome back to Unlikely, and today we are here to talk about WWE's LFG, Legends and Future Greats. Season 2 is kicking off this Sunday on A&E, 7 p.m. Pacific here in Vegas. And joining us is a man who's joined us before in studio. He's returning as a coach for Season 2. And speaking of 2, he's a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer. He is a man that was a former member of the dance group, The Remote Controls. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than Booker T. Booker, thanks for joining us. And right off the bat, Season 2, is there more beef with Bubba Ray Dudley?
Always beef with Bubba. You know what I mean? I just have to get Bubba straight. You know what I mean? Him and his championship reigns. He's buffered. He's buffered his championship reigns for many years, and I didn't want to say anything. I never wanted to say anything about the ECW Tag Team Championships. You know what I mean? Those 8 Tag Team Championships. I never really wanted to say, but you can't count those. You can't. Those were regional. They were regional, man. You know, so for me, I'm just all about telling the truth. Booker, straight down the middle T. That's what they call me. That's what they call me. So I'm all about the truth.
And look, if you're in the room, like, how are you not going to say anything? Like, if you weren't in the room, you could let it slide. But if I'm there in person, it is what it is. Listen, and I want to ask you, like, are you surprised how fast Season 2 is here? And second, are you even more surprised to see someone like Jasper Troy do what he did against Obafemi?
I'm not surprised with Jasper Troy. I mean, Season 2 definitely came upon us pretty quick, but I'm ready for it. I mean, throw me in the game, throw me in the deep end. I'm ready to swim, just like Jasper Troy went out there and showed up and showed out with Obafemi. This guy has a bright future, and I spotted it from day one. From day one, as far as when we started Season 1, I said, this guy right here, Jasper Troy, he's going to win the whole thing. I said it from day one. Anthony Luke, I had a whole lot of praise for Anthony Luke, but Anthony, it was something that was holding him back. And the thing is, Jasper Troy, he exploited it. You saw it. I mean, at one point, they were jaw-jacking back and forth with each other. And I remember Jasper Troy telling Anthony Luke, I'm going to take everything away from you. I'm going to destroy it. And I go, oh, my God, man, this is the guy. This is the guy right here. No, he said, I'm going to ruin it. That's what he said. And I go, wow, he's ready. He's ready for the big time. So to see Jasper Troy doing what he's doing, man, I'm proud of that kid.
And one of the things that I love about this show is, like, you specifically being one of the coaches, because if you look at the landscape and you look at your career, right, I know in baseball they use the term 5-tool player. And when I think of wrestling, you are that. You've done everything. You've been an underdog babyface. You've done comedy. We're fighting for King and Queen of the Ring. Well, you've done that too. Analyst, commentator, play-by-play, GM, you've done it all. So with that perspective and that experience, how do you think that translates into your coaching?
I don't know. I think my coaching comes from life experiences. You know, I think my coaching would work even if I never took a bump. It really did. You know, I think to get the best out of young men and young women, I think it's just being able to motivate them to do the things that they never thought that they could do. You know, I think that's what I needed. You know, when I was a kid coming up, I just needed a pat on the back. You know, I just needed to be told I could do this. You know what I mean? That's what great coaches do. Great coaches are more great motivators than they are great coaches. You know what I mean? The relationships that they have with their players, I think, is more than anything. I remember one of my students, he had been with me for some years. And one day he told me, Book, why do you hate me so much? You know, he had tears in his eyes, and he go, why do you hate me so much? And he had been with me, like I say, for maybe 4 or 5 years at that point in time, and he's one of my best guys today, still with me, top guy. You know, he had to go through everything he had to go through to actually get to where I needed him to be. And he realized at the end of the day, that's where he wanted to be. You know what I mean? So being a motivator and a mentor is something totally different than being a coach, and I think that's why I play my best role.
And, for people that don't know, even outside of WWE, you have been coaching, you have been training the future of this business for a very long time down there in Houston with Reality of Wrestling. And through the years, a lot of things have changed. We're talking about LFG, talking about Evolve, talking about NXT, and also the change of bringing in kids through NIL. And I'm kind of curious, obviously, from going from pulling people from the independents to going to get these kids from NIL. Does it seem, I don't want to say easier, but to me, when I look at it and I see some of these athletes translate so well, I'm like, well, listen, they've been coached since they were 5 years old, growing up playing whatever sport they are. Is it easier coaching them, or what's the difference, I should ask?
Well, it's just different. It's not the way it was when we came up. When I came up or anything like that, it's not like that. And I hear a lot of these armchair quarterbacks, talk about, the storylines and what's going on today with wrestling. And, they got an opinion on, the way the show went last night and this and that and whatnot. And I'm like, it's never going to be like it was when we did it. It's their generation. It's going to be left the way they leave it. You know what I mean? So they're getting in the game totally different than the way we got in the game. We was on the road traveling, going this place to this place to this place. These guys go in the combine. It's like the Matrix. All right. Boom, and they come out like Neo. And they go in the simulator and they learn how to do karate in one day. All right. That's what we got. And the thing is, if you don't have the innate ability to be able to change and go with the times, you're going to get left behind. Of course, I'm from the old school, okay? But I got to be able to think like a hybrid. I got to understand It's not like it was back in the day. I got to understand these guys jump off stuff these days and they want to jump off of it. So I go, okay, when do we want to jump off of it? I'm going to let you do it, So my thing is you got to know how to adapt and adjust to what these kids are doing today. And me personally, I like it a lot. Like I said, these old heads need to get off of what these young guys are doing today because it's their generation.
And the thing I love, too, is you talk about Jasper Troy and you're saying, hey, I could tell from day one that there's something. And with this show and with NXT and with Evolve, you're pulling from all over the place. So there is some people that have a lot of hype that people know about. And there are some unknown gems, right? Well, one of them that I feel like in the future, he might be on season 3. He might be on season 4. You have a great knowledge of. I'm talking about Zilla Fatu. When it comes to training someone like him, with obviously he has the family history and a lot of hype, what are some of the things that you tell him in order to be like, hey, we want you on this path to get where you want to be?
I just keep telling Zilla, just keep doing what you're doing. Zilla, he come from, that same school that I came from. He's, of course, he's seen the other side, unlike a lot of people, especially young people. Now he's out and he's doing really, really well, and I just tell him, don't get lost. Don't get lost in all of the hype and everything that's going on around you. You know what I mean? People going to treat you like you're a star. You know what I mean? They're gonna want to hang on. They're gonna want to ride. But you better understand what this thing is really all about at the end of the day, and it's about hopefully making the old man proud and taking care of your moms. That's it. If you could focus on that, you ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? Everything else will take care of itself because you're talking about him right now. Zilla's, he's the future. He's the next global superstar for this business, bar none. You're hearing it from me right now. The next global superstar the business is going to see. And I just need him to, like I say, just keep doing what he's doing at Reality of Wrestling. And that's shining like new money every time he show up.
I love it. Before we get into some speed round questions, I want to ask you, in terms of coaching, when you get your team set, episode 1 here to start off season 2, what's the number one most important thing, the number one point you want to get across to all your talent that you're coaching?
Oh my God, I just need them to know how real this thing really is for me, as far as winning. I'm all about winning, not about losing. But at the end of the day, it's about them winning as far as learning what this business is all about at the same time. I'm not going to slack on giving these guys the knowledge, that they need at my expense of winning. Of course, I want to win, but I know if I win, we all win at the end of the day. So preparation is our only look. So let's get ready to go out there and win.
Season 2, WWE LFG is going to premiere this Sunday on A&E, 7 p.m. Pacific here on the West Coast. Let's close it out with 5 speed round questions. Booker, are you ready?
Ready as I'm going to get.
Listen, this is the one question that after the interview that we had that I was like, damn, how did I not ask him about this? The Hungry Man checks you got back in the UPN SmackDown days. How nice were those checks?
Oh, man, those are some good checks. Those are some real good checks. Yeah, man. I mean, I remember those days real good. I might still have some of that money.
Did you get unlimited Hungry Man? Like, what were the perks?
Yeah, they hooked me up. They hooked me up back in the day. Yeah.
Listen, if you needed a meal, hit up Booker.
I was a hungry man. I was all about hungry man back then too, bro. I was looking to get on the hamburger helper.
I love that. It's funny coming up. Obviously, John Cena's facing CM Punk, and of course that rivalry. A lot of people love it. And Money in the Bank 2011. Iconic match, very important to me in my childhood and my fandom. You were in the commentary booth for that night. Was that the craziest crowd that you ever, like, while doing play-by-play, was that the craziest match you've ever had to cover in terms of how crazy the crowd was?
Honestly, man, I don't even remember it. Yeah.
Really?
No, you know why, man?
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Seriously, man. Some stuff I remember like it was yesterday, but it had to be a moment for me. If I was just working, I don't remember it. It had to have touched me a certain way for me to remember wrestling. I don't remember towns and stuff like that, like a lot of guys. Mick Foley remember every town, every moment. For me, it was just a job, man. I swear to God.
Hey, listen, when you're a 2-time Hall of Famer, you got a lot of memories, and some slip through the cracks. I get it.
No, like that, yeah.
There was a viral video from NXT that actually has been going viral right now. The crowd was chanting that they miss Stephanie Vaquer. I believe you do too. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss her now that she's up and called up on Raw?
I'm proud of her, man. I'm so proud of her, man. I'm so proud of seeing her. The thing is, she was the dark horse, when she first came in. You had Julia, you got Zarya, and then you got, Jordan Grace.
Too many to name.
Yeah, like Jordan Grace coming in, but then you got her, Stephanie Vaquer. I didn't see her being the one that was just gonna boom rise up out of the ashes. But before the Devil's Kiss, I watched her work, man. I watched her performance in the ring, and I go, man, this girl right here could work with anybody. I mean, she fits the profile. She checks off all the boxes. She's a beautiful girl. She could work, perform at a very, very high level. So, I mean, what else are we looking for? And then, adding the Devil's Kiss, I was like, wow, for me, I'm just a soundtrack. And to actually give her that extra rub and for people to actually jump on board, it's no more than Mark Madden did for me back in the day with the spin-a-rooney. And then all of a sudden I started like, oh, wait a minute, I got something here. And I went with it from that point on. It became my signature. And I watch her now. It's become her signature. And if I could give these kids any little thing to help them out, I'm gonna give it to them. I've had so many kids, look, you mind if I do the scissor kick? You mind if I do your side kick? I'm like, man, if it can make you some money, you better do it, because I stole everybody's stuff. Ain't lying, man. I stole everybody's moves when I was coming up, so I'm no hater, man. I love seeing what these young guys are doing, and Stephanie Vaquer is definitely at the top of the list. If
it's gonna make you some money, you might as well do it. I love that. Shout out to Trick Williams, who's been going viral too for doing spin-a-roonies.
Boys, man, that's another one of my boys.
Let me close it out with this final one. I've been saying viral a lot during this interview. Something that always pops up every 2 months. And let's see if you remember, you whooping ass while on the microphone down in TNA. Whose idea was it?
That was my idea. To actually do the ass whooping. That's just something I always wanted to do as a commentator, as a performer. It just, I don't know why, but I've always had like stupid stuff I wanted to do, and that was one of my bucket list things. And I swear, man, I didn't know it was going to be this viral this many years later. I wasn't thinking like that at all. It was just one of the things I always wanted to do. I was stupid as far as calling commentary in the back when I was a wrestler back in the day, before I ever thought about doing this commentary thing. And that was one of the things. I don't know, but it's crazy when I see it, and I see Petey Williams now and Creed, Xavier Woods, two of the guys that was actually a part of that. I'm stalking him, he's stalking him, It's just stupid as it possibly can be. But that's what wrestling is. And I say, when you take that out of professional wrestling, it's not professional wrestling anymore. I never want to take that part out of professional wrestling, the stupid part. So
listen, you got to have all them tools. Like I said, that's a 5-tool player right there. That's a hell of a reason that you're a coach in season 2 WWE LFG this Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific on A&E. As always, Booker, you're always welcomed on the Unlikely, and thank you so much for the time, brother.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, bro. Always.